Welcome, welcome, business owning moms, to my coveted maternity leave planning roadmap. We are in episode 21 of our roadmap series takeover. And I'll be totally honest, this one might ruffle a few feathers. I call it the Frontload Fallacy. So, a lot of maternity leave advice when it comes to business owning moms is they're like, just get everything done while you're pregnant, right? Just front load everything and then you'll be able to go out. And I think that yes, strategic implementation is helpful. So, see last episode on how to block an implementation day. But personally, I have never found that in all of the, women I've coached and all of the maternity leaves that we've helped set up, that front loading every single thing and trying to get it all done before leave rarely works out well. And here's why. I believe that as type A, high achieving, business owning moms, we have a really tough time slowing down. I say this with so much love and grace because I still struggle with this. I get into seasons where it's very business focused. I get into seasons where I have a lot of things that I want to do in my personal life or, in my professional life. And I have a really tough time shutting off. I have a really tough time shutting down that stream of ideas, being slow, being present, being with my family, or being slow and being present for patient decisions that need to unfold inside of the business, right? And so this habit is not one that you can just set a timer or set a goal on our calendar, i.e., when baby comes, to just be done with working or to just be totally focused and shift another direction. You need a runway. You need to be able to slow down inside of the business. It's as if you gave an airplane a 2-inch runway to land on. It's not going to work, right? They're going so fast that they need that time to actually land, to get their stability, to pump the brakes and then come to a slow stop. I think we do this to ourselves all the time, whether it's day-to-day task switching, so being mom to being CEO, to being mom to being CEO, whatever that looks like for us. And I also think that we do this to ourselves during maternity leave. We work up until the very last day. I did it on my first one, did not do it on my second. It was so incredibly stressful because what ended up happening, and I went into labor naturally with both of our kiddos, I was like 39 and 4 with Frank and then 39 and 1 with Jack. But nonetheless, I went into labor naturally with both of them, thank goodness. And I couldn't plan. I mean, I know so many women who go 4 weeks over or 3 weeks over, then they are induced. Or I know a lot of women who are in a position where their babies come at 36 weeks or 37 weeks, right? You just never know when it's going to happen. And so my opinion on like really working until the very, very last minute, it doesn't mean you can do no work, but it means that keeping that full-time schedule, that really, really fast pace, trying to just cram it all in before you go on maternity leave, it's going to end up shooting you in the foot a little bit on the backside because what you're going to have is a nervous system and a schedule and a brain that isn't used to going this slow. And so you're constantly going to be thinking, well, what should I be doing? What should I be doing? And I was there in my first leave. I remember sitting there under my son when he was napping on me. And I was like, what else could I be doing in life? I couldn't even wrap my brain around the idea of being nap trapped for like an hour. And the crazy thing is like then through leave, so like 4 months in, I wasn't off, of course, for 4 months. So when my baby was about 4 months old and we'd done several naps, contact napping, I felt better about it because we had done it before. And I was like, oh, I'll just pick that thing up later on when I get back to it. Right. So I think slowing down, actually taking some time away. So, tactically, what this could look like is keeping part-time hours for the last month of your pregnancy. I know that some of you might be thinking, well, Allie, I have so many things to do and I need to make sure that they get done before I go out. I hear that. And likely there is a priority queue that you can follow. And I believe that motherhood makes us better business owners, like full on believe that. And I think this is our first time to demonstrate that you are going to be strapped for time and resources into motherhood. It's going to happen, and you're going to need to make sure that your business gets the first level priority that it deserves. And so I encourage you to try to think about, if I only had 20 hours a week, or if I only had 10 or 15 hours a week in my final month of pregnancy, what would be absolutely critical for me to focus on? And I think the reason that this is important is because it builds that habit for postpartum and that early transitioning backstage, to make sure that you are in a position where when you come back into the business, call it 3 months, 6 months, whatever your plan is for your maternity leave later, you can focus and basically just repeat a version of that job. It might not look exactly the same, but you could be in a position where you can say, great, the things I really needed to focus on in the last month is just like taking deposits for future, clients. Or I really needed to focus on like my content and, batching things for, release while I'm away on maternity leave, and like really diving into thought leadership. And I think if we take a look at those types of things, everything else is like figure outable. I think Marie Forleo says that everything else is figure outable, right? Like we can get somebody else into the business, we can delegate those other tasks, and we can really be specific about what other support we might need in life and in business so that we can focus on the things that we really love to do. If you haven't yet done the time and energy audit, that's going to be a really, really helpful one. But really, really think about, if I were to wind down my involvement in the business to like 10, 15 hours a week, what would I need to be doing to keep kind of things moving? And then when you think about that job or that task list again, think about it in the early stages of coming back, from maternity leave. This is the first time you'll make kind of your new job description for your business. And it might be temporary, right? We might not be in a position where we feel like we're able to afford just yet having us at limited capacity and a team to support us. But the amazing thing is, most times when moms do this exercise and they're able to lean into the things that they absolutely need to do to keep the business moving, and the things that only they can do, I personally experienced huge growth years every single time I did this inside of my business. So when I was really restrictive with my time, welcoming in my second son, Jack, when I wrote my book, The Sabbatical Method, I was very restrictive with what I lent my time and energy to because I wanted all of it for this project. When we redid and created Bond, the program, toward the end of 2024, that was another time where I was like, I just need to be in this. I can't like have space for other stuff. And it's really incredible what it starts to do to the direction, the morale of the team, the top line revenue number, like all of the things that we think are going to suffer with us kind of taking our focus out of the day-to-day operations of the business. It actually improves. And I invite you to experience this, in your business. I think it's a really cool, kind of transitionary moment. And honestly, it's been really delightful to see on my side, on the sides of my clients. So start to wind this down. Don't think about maternity leave as in, what do I need to get done beforehand? There's plenty of stuff like the nursery and, ordering diapers and getting all that stuff figured out that you will need to do before baby comes. And so use the front load fallacy, or use that time that you get back from the business to just like focus on making you okay. Focus on having those conversations with your spouse, or like taking that baby moon that maybe you'd been meaning to take, or, just go for like nice calm walks. And if it's your first time, enjoy, being kidless for a little while. I know that it sounds kind of wild, but you will miss the time where you could just like go do whatever you feel like. And if you're having another baby, whether you have 2, 4, 8 at home already, you can just like lean into the last moments of, your family at that size, which is also a really beautiful time. So anyway, happy planning. Please give yourself a break and start to wind stuff down. If you're enjoying these, I would love a review on the podcast. It helps us reach so many more amazing moms. Just go ahead and leave us 5 stars. Tell us the episode that you loved the most, or something nice about me. Really appreciate it. And it's always humbling to read those. In the meantime, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time.